A blind man sees an elephant differently than you do, but it doesn't mean he sees it incorrectly. This is the Think Your Reality podcast, episode number 30. Hang on, here we go.
Your destiny is by your design. Getting what you want in your professional life is gained by following a series of steps created by your mindset. Are you ready to start the journey? This is the Think Your Reality podcast. Here's Mike Sims.
Hey, it's Michael, and this is the Think Your Reality podcast. Thank you, as always, for allowing me to spend some time with you, and I hope you're doing well. So let me ask you this question. How do you see things? Do you look at situations or issues from the same vantage point every time? Do you look at opportunities or mishaps the same way? Maybe you should. Let's discuss. I want to share a story with you. I sold real estate before starting the podcast and the company titled Think Your Reality. So there was a home sold in Queens County, New York. It's a borough of New York City. It's just east of Manhattan. The home was a foreclosure sale that went for $600,000. So after the closing, the new owner discovered that there were paintings left in the house. So he called the bank and he was told they were his. Bank wanted nothing more to do with the property. And the new owner felt a little inconvenienced, but the bank completely washed their hands of the house. They were done. Well, most people I have told the story to said they would have left them at the curb for the garbage to pick them up in the morning. The new owner had the sense to view the situation differently than most people would have. He had someone look at the paintings. In this case, it was an appraiser. He came to find out that the paintings were valued at $2.4 million. He looked at it from a different perspective than most people would have, to his great advantage. So what issues are you dealing with now in pursuit of your goals? The saying is you're either in an issue, coming out of one, or you are on your way to one. The 180-degree theory applied, look at it differently. There are usually more options to its solution than you may have exercised. You can do something with it, you can delegate it, or you can discard it. In the instance of the homeowner's story, he did something with it, to his surprise and his monetary gain. Solutions to issues very often are more plentiful than you may have thought. Someone bringing you their problems does not immediately assign them to you. In this case, I would discard it. Politely tell the person who is intent on leaving it at your feet, no. A person's lack of planning does not constitute an emergency for me now to address. Discard that as well. I don't see the need to alleviate their stress. You have the right to look at it differently than they and politely decline to help. It's perfectly okay with assisting another with their journey, but not at the expense of yours. In this instance, discard it. Delegating is another very effective way of looking at a task that needs to be addressed. If you have the people within your team and it does merit attention, delegate it. Here are a couple of steps you may want to employ when looking at an obstacle or an issue. Number one, assess initially. Ask a lot of questions of the issue you face or the people with whom you interact. I have said many times and continue to believe that a problem, circumstance, or issue contains within it its own solution. And by asking questions, you deepen your understanding of it. When this happens, more often than not, what appeared to be a great obstacle was nothing like that at all. And this new skill that you've now developed is invaluable to you as your journey continues. You can and should employ this often. Number two, force yourself to view it from a different angle. Walk away from it if you need to and refresh your frame of reference. So how would a 4-year-old see this obstacle? A childlike view can be simplistic and yet very effective because adults tend to overcomplicate things. If nothing else, you'll probably get a good laugh out of it. Employ this activity with your team if you have one and see what they can come up with. Number three, ask the assistance of someone you trust to look at it and ask what they see, but don't necessarily ask them to solve the problem or issue for you. You need not ask them to solve it, but merely give their account of it. Their experiences are different from yours and offer a different definition of the problem at hand. Their life experience offers a different viewpoint, and a contrasting assessment may be just the thing to understand it and conquer it. We need not always be right or have the answer initially. Number four, take the issue, the opportunity, whatever it might be, take it apart and see if there are different ways to assess what it will do by its function or by its design. Understanding its function lends insight into how it was made or it came to be, giving you further understanding of it. Obstacles many times are opportunities in disguise. In the earlier story, the home buyer's obstacle, in this case the paintings, became a source to pay the mortgage on the house and invest the rest of it into his 401k. Now, I will grant you, it's an extreme example, but a true one nonetheless. We can use some of the things applied by that homeowner to get a handle on what it is that we have been presented with that we need to overcome. Does that make sense? I hope so. Number 5, question your own assumptions and preconceived ideas. We've gone back to this in previous episodes about how we've been programmed or influenced maybe. A problem may be the very thing you need to further your progress. That is the very definition of the 180-degree theory. So is it a problem, or is it the answer to an even bigger question and the catalyst for tremendous growth for you? Again, its value and effect on you are directed by you and for you. Just a couple of things to take into consideration as you're on your way to your goal, your dreams, and your aspirations. My name is Mike Sims. This is the Think Your Reality podcast. And as always, I hope and pray that you have an absolutely wonderful day, a great day, as you deserve nothing less.